Thank you. Senator Durbin.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Grassley and I may disagree on college basketball teams, but we agree on everything else that he had to say. Amen. And I have to tell you, you and I go back in this E15 debate to the days of Gasohol. It goes back Gasohol a few years ago. So I'm with you all the way on what you had to say on both accounts. I listened. I had a hearing I had to be ranking member on, but I listened to your testimony. And there are three things that came out to me. Mr. Duvall, you talked about farm labor. I'm going to put in a word that you don't hear too often, immigration. And we have to be honest about immigration. I've got farmers, dairy farmers, people who own orchards and the like, tell me they just can't get anybody to do it, help them, and they're going to give it up. They do their best and they can't. And those that had loyal employees that came in from Mexico, for example, bring their family every year, good family relationship between the owners of the farm and the workers. They're scared to death to come to the United States right now. You know that for a fact, and I do too. It applies not just to farming, but it applies to processing as well. And that's the reality. We got to get serious about immigration. When we did a bipartisan immigration bill, comprehensive bill, with John McCain, I was on that group of 8 senators. We had a farm program that was damn good. If we had it today, we'd be much better off. The second issue that I want to raise, and it applies to virtually everybody, is tariffs. I hear when a door closes, when I meet with farm groups, and they know nobody can hear them, how frustrated they are with tariffs. Farmers have long memories. They can remember when Richard Nixon messed it up with Japan and put Brazil on the map for soybeans. Mr. Metzger, you know that story. And I think by and large this tariff thing, now that the Supreme Court has given it the boot, I hope it doesn't come back. It's not helping. And the third area is what the war in the Mediterranean is going to do to input cost. It's got to be bad. I mean, when you consider what goes through the Straits of Hormuz. So you got three things, three policy decisions by this administration that are really putting us in a real challenging situation. Ms. Burns, I'd like to ask you a question if I can. And I don't mean to pick on you, but one of the hottest, I've been around the Senate for a while, one of the hottest debates I can ever remember in the Democratic caucus was over the issue of GMOs. It went on for days, and people were madder than hell on both sides before it was over. We got a new debate coming up, and you know from Secretary Kennedy and others what it is. It's about processed food and what it means. Is it dangerous? Is it nutritious? What is it? Tell me if your industry, especially crops, is thinking ahead about a proactive position when it comes to alternatives to processed food. Do you see some opportunity there?
Yeah, you're not picking on me. You're giving me an opportunity to address the question. So we have such an opportunity here in the U.S. to increase domestic production by increasing domestic consumption. As I said earlier, only 1 in 10 Americans are eating the right amount of fruits and vegetables. That means 90% of Americans are not eating the right amount of fruits and vegetables. Just an increase of 10% would be $33.5 billion. If we got the American population to eat the amount of fruits and vegetables that we're eating in protein, 50%, based on the dietary guidelines, it would be an extra $134 billion.
Do you see this whole debate about processed foods as an opportunity then?
I see an opportunity to drive incentives to purchase our products. So if you think about SNAP, you know, there are programs within SNAP that drive incentives for Americans to buy more fruits and vegetables in the SNAP program. So health is having a moment. You said it yourself, right? Health is having a moment right now. As a specialty crop industry, we must take advantage of that.
I go into a high school in Chicago, brand new school, beautiful school. As we're leaving, I say, let's walk through the cafeteria. The principal says, we're in a hurry. I want to see what you're serving for lunch. I'll tell you what they were serving for lunch. Corn dogs, pizza, tater tots. How about that for a meal? I think we can do a lot better. And I think we need to be proactive in that area. So I'm so happy to hear that you're not taking a defensive position on this, but a proactive position. And I invite the others at the table to see it as the same way. There's going to be a national debate about nutrition. Let's do our darndest to make sure it's balanced. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Um,